Hey guys, welcome to Rating Drinks Part 2. This is a tier list video, which is a follow-up from the last one where I just rate a list of hot and cold drinks on how much I'd like to drink them. Before we get started in the video, I'd like to say that I've got this new microphone that I'm using. It's a HyperX Quadcast, and I'd appreciate it if you dropped a comment on saying if you prefer the new audio or if you like the old one better. I just want to see if it made any of a difference in recording. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the tier list. So we're starting off with almond water. Now, this has gained a lot of popularity recently due to its kind of involvement in the backrooms law. So a lot of people are talking about it there, so I thought I wanted to include it. But as a drink on its own, it's quite bland, and personally I'm not a big fan of the flavour of almonds. So I've kind of got to drop it down to C tier, you know. I feel a bit bad because I know a lot of people talk about it online, but it's just not that nice of a drink to me. Okay, so next one we've got is Vimto, commonly mispronounced as Vimpto, but there's no P in it. I definitely checked. Vimto, it's like a nice dark foresty fruits kind of drink, and there's two versions, the fizzy and the still version, but today we've got the fizzy one here, and it's quite a solid drink, and I feel like it's got to go into A because it's got good flavour, it's refreshing, and it's just quite enjoyable. Next we got Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Now this is a bit different to the other one in my tier list. I just was rating the regular Coke, but this one is a bit different because it's obviously got no sugar. It's a healthier alternative, but honestly the flavour takes a massive drop and it really doesn't taste anything like the original Coke that we're used to, so I feel like it's got to go down in the dookie tier right now because it's just so bad and I don't know why anyone would want to drink it. Alright, next we have cranberry juice. Now this is an odd one because it sometimes makes you feel thirsty after drinking it, so that kind of defeats its purpose of a drink, but I really enjoy the flavour. It's a good all-round drink, and cranberries in general just have a nice flavour, so it's kind of got to go in B tier here. I wouldn't want to put it any lower because the drinks below that are really quite bad, and I feel like B tier and above I'd choose to drink, and below that it's kind of just please don't make me have it, you know. Next we have hot chocolate, and this is quite a nice drink. I mean, it's definitely a seasonal drink because in the winter it just hits a lot harder, as it's obviously hot, but I just associate it with kind of Christmas and that. So in the right season it could be an A tier, but due to around the rest of the year and sort of that, it's got to go down to a B tier. But it does have a nice chocolate flavour, but yeah, it's just got to stay there, doesn't it? Next we got the Don Simon. Now this is a really nice drink. It's like a fruit flavoured juice drink, so it's not exactly like juice, like fresh juice, but it's still got a nice flavour, and it quenches your thirst in a really good way, so I feel I've got to put it in A tier here. Next we have Fanta. Now this it's not got too special of a flavour, it's just a fizzy orange drink, because I mean a lot of the other big fizzy drinks have a kind of set flavour that's unique to them, you know, thinking of Coke's kind of thing and Iron Brew in particular, whereas Fanta's just a kind of general orange flavour, and I mean I like it, but it's just a bit unoriginal, isn't it? So it's got to go in B tier for me. Okay, green tea. Now this is a weird one because tea is such a nice drink, and then instead of putting in tea leaves, you put in these weird green ones, and you don't put any milk in, and it's honestly just a bit of a bad experience. Like, I know green tea can be made into like iced tea, and when it is, it's better, but just in its hot green tea state, I'm really not a big fan of this one. Alright, next we've got the Fortnite Big Pot, which I've never tried it myself because it's not a real drink, but I wanted to put it on this list just because, I don't know, it's just quite a famous one, isn't it? And if I got the opportunity, I would want to try it because it gives you shields, and I feel like that would be quite useful in day-to-day life. But as it's a fictional drink, I couldn't rate it too highly, and I feel it's got to stay in the B tier. I mean, I put it above these in B tier, so like high B tier, but still it's not breaking into that A tier kind of quality yet. And next we have J2O, and this is a solid drink. I mean, I used to drink a lot of these, and it's cool because not many soft drinks have a cap on the top that you have to open, so it kind of used to make me feel a lot more grown up when drinking it, very sophisticated. But overall, just in its flavour, it's a solid drink with nice flavour, especially in this orange blend flavour, and I just quite like it. And also the name of it is a bit of a pun in itself, being like juice to oxygen instead of like hydrogen, which is water, so I thought that needed a little mention. Next we've got Lucozade Sport. Now, I don't know whether Lucozade Original or Sport is better, but I feel like the Sport, I mean, I kind of have to put it in A tier because let's just put it in front of Vimto there, but I just really like this. It's got kind of a nice, smooth, sweet taste. I know it's got a lot of sugar in it, but we're not rating the healthiness of these drinks too much, so it's not too big of a concern. But yeah, I just enjoy drinking it, and it goes well with sports, of course, so I guess that's a good use for it. If you do sport, drink this drink. Next we've got mango juice. Now, I don't mind it, but mangoes, they just have a weird flavour to me. And like, when you put mango in like a tropical mix or mango and orange, it definitely elevates the flavour of it. But mango on its own just feels a bit empty, and I really do not enjoy drinking just pure mango juice, as it's just something to do with the flavour. It's just a bit off for me. Okay, next on this we got Mountain Dew. Now, I'm just gonna clearly just put this into S, superior tier right now. It is by far the best lemon kind of citrusy flavoured drink there is. Like, it's like lemonade, but on steroids in a good way. The flavour of it is just so nice, and I could definitely drink that for days. The only problem with it is that it's kind of hard to get here in the UK, as opposed to like places like the States and that. That is a downfall, but that's nothing to do with the drink. It's just logistics of getting it here is a bit tougher than elsewhere, which is a bit of a shame for me, as I love it. Okay, we've got Oasis. Now, regular Oasis, it's gotta be a B tier. However, if this was like Oasis that you get in like McDonald's, like the ones from the machines, that would definitely be A tier. Probably put it mid B tier. It's just, it tastes too strong to me, really, and it's got a kind of chemical-ish taste a bit. But yeah, I feel like that's sold in the McDonald's version, not just McDonald's, but like the ones that come out the tap. As I don't know, maybe it's just the mix is a bit different, but I definitely prefer them to this version, which is why it's kind of got to go mid-table. Next drink on the list is Prime, and I mean, It's very popular because of all the hype surrounding it with like Jake Paul and KSI. But as a drink on itself, it's nothing too special. It's kind of just like a different flavour of kind of like a Lucasade sports drink in a flashy package sponsored by big people, which doesn't exactly make it a better drink for me, but it's definitely better than some of these, so I'll put it in mid A tier just for this blue flavour alone. I quite like it. It's probably one of the better ones compared to, I can't even remember what they're called, like Ice Pop or whatever. They're not as good. Okay, next we got Radinor Fizz. Now, I'm not a big fan of these because I think they're made to be healthy, as they're introduced in schools quite a lot, and I'm just not a fan of the kind of flavours. And like, look how tiny that little bottle is. Like, that is not enough to quench your thirst. Come on, Radinor, you should do better than this. It's just got to go in C tier. Right, Red Cola. This is going into the superior tier, just because it just tastes so good. It's like the 2.0 version of Coke, and there's not really any way to describe the flavour. It's just really good, especially if you put it in a glass bottle. Then that just hits so hard. It's really good. I enjoy drinking it a lot. Okay, now we got Ribena, and to be honest, it's just a solid blackcurrant flavoured drink. Nothing too special. I mean, I've not got anything too negative to say, but nothing too positive, so I think it's probably going to go high B tier. I'll pop it in front of cranberry juice, yeah. Alright, we got Rubicon still, and you can't see it, but it's passion fruit flavoured, and this is going in the Dookie tier. Just because passion fruit, like, it's the same sort of case with the mango. They don't work well on their own, but they work well together in a mix. But just on its own, it's a bit of a letdown in the drink, and I'd personally never want to drink this. But, you know, each to their own. Next, we got Schlur. It's a difficult word to say. Bit of a weird spelling, honestly. And this, I'm putting it in C tier, but it's better than all these, so let's just swap it there. I mean, the flavours are sometimes a bit off in this drink. Like, I don't know, they just don't taste right, and I'd never personally buy one myself because they just don't appeal to me too much, and I'm probably not the target audience for it, but honestly, I don't know who is. Alright, we've got Sprite here, and this is kind of just a B-Tech version of Mountain Dew. Like, it's nice, but it's just not the same. Like, yeah, it's just got to go down here because bit of a disappointment compared to the godly Mountain Dew. Like, nothing really can compare to that in like the kind of lemony drinks kind of field, or lime, you know, same kind of thing. Next we got Sunny D. Now, this is quite a nice drink and I do like it, but I had one recently and it was kind of a letdown because it tasted just a bit watery. I wasn't the biggest fan of it at all, so it's kind of got to go mid C tier, like just a bit lower. About there sounds good. Okay, next, like second to last and last, Suso. Now this is, it's a bad drink. Like, the size of the can is tiny. It's less than a 330. I can't remember exactly what size it is, but it's a small can, and I remember at school they used to charge 90 pence, which is probably equivalent to about $1 or something, and it's just not a nice drink. Like, you only got it because it was the only option. Like, fair enough, it's better than water, but if you're in a shop with all these other drinks, you really wouldn't choose it over many of them. So I'd probably put it C tier, since it's not terrible. It's just quite a bad drink, honestly. And then last but not least, we've got Yazoo. Now, I mean, I quite like Yazoo. Like, it's definitely an improvement upon the milk. So it's probably going to go in B tier, but we'll put it above the big pot. I mean, milk drinks, they're okay, but they can't escape that they're milk, which it pulls it down because the flavour's always gonna, it's hard to describe, it's just gonna have that taste, isn't it, of milk. And I'm not the biggest fan of it compared to the more fruit flavoured drinks on this list, which are ranked generally more highly. But yeah, that's about it for the tier list. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you have any suggestions on how I could improve or change this, I'd love to see comments about that. And once again, if you could just give me a little comment about how the new microphone's doing, I'd love to hear that as well. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.